Welcome to Finding Yourself Podcast. I'm your host, Brittany, aka Barbie Sosa, and we are on episode 9, and this is going to be called The Ugly Truth. This is my perspective of things and how I feel about different situations in life and how it affects you, and how sometimes it's hard to accept the truth, right? And that's why this episode is definitely going to be called The Ugly Truth. Where do I start? So I have been doing a lot lately to become a better version of myself, and I think a lot of the times people don't understand the method to my madness, and a lot of the times people may think that I done lost my stuff, right? But I know what I'm supposed to be doing and I know how I'm supposed to be doing it. And a lot of the times you have to make some decisions that are gonna be hard. And I'm at a place where it took a lot for me to get my peace. It took a lot of isolation. It took a lot of accountability. It took a lot of being self-aware. It took a lot of everything. And I'm in a place where I have peace. I have joy. I have unspeakable joy. And I don't entertain anything that's going to disturb my peace. And I was really put in a position where I had to make some really tough decisions. And it was regarding a relationship. And I'm learning that just because you love somebody doesn't mean you need to have them, right? I had to learn, and this is the ugly truth, that just because you love somebody don't mean you have to be with them or that you need to be with them. And I just had an aha moment, because if I love you, I want to be with you. I want to be like one. And especially on a intimate level or a romantic level. And I'm learning that you can love somebody and not fool with them. You can love somebody from a distance, right? You can love somebody and it not be enough for you to endure whatever's going to come with that person. And I'm learning that all of my work is paying off because I have boundaries, I have standards. And if it doesn't meet my standard or my boundaries, I'm not dealing with it. And I'm very proud of myself for being able to make some very tough decisions and understand it's for my better being. Y'all, my glasses, it's like reflecting off my glasses, but the ring light. But the ugly truth is love is not enough. Love is not enough, and people will use love to manipulate you. People will use love to undermine you. People will use love to take advantage of you. And I think those all are pretty much the same thing. But this is why a lot of people don't allow themselves to love or don't allow themselves to get to a certain place with people, because it could be detrimental if a person mishandles you, right? And I'm learning, and this is just the ugly truth, is everything you love ain't good for you. And just because you love something doesn't mean it loves you back. Like, people love the streets, but the streets don't love nobody. That's a fact. So I'm just learning, you guys, that over this course of the week, I've been through a lot. And I was telling somebody about my grandmother. You know, she passed December the 23rd. And I was just letting them know, like, my grandmother passed, she didn't make it. And they were so consumed with their issues and their problems, they barely even acknowledged what I said, right? And I just kind of chuckled, because people can be selfish. People can be things can be one-sided with a person. And I'm learning that I cannot expect me from other people. And that's just the ugly truth. And God created me to be a giver, to be a comforter, to be somebody that encourages people, and I never look to get that from other people, no matter what it is that I'm going through or how I feel. Like right now, I feel awful. Like, I don't know if y'all can tell if I look like I feel awful. I am an emotional mess. I am an emotional mess. I don't know if I want to laugh, if I want to cry. Like, I am just all over the place. And this is the reality of life and being in positions and having to make decisions and understanding that people are not like you. You'll never get you from somebody else. And you have to be okay with being what God called you to be. So unfortunately, I'm gonna use some of Pastor stuff. Shout out to Pastor Ken. He preached on the significance. No, that wasn't Pastor Ken. I'm gonna pull that back. It was a guest pastor that we had, but he talked about the significance of the net and how a lot of the times, like, God created you to be a net, meaning you're designed to carry things and carry people. And a lot of times people don't want to carry things and people. You don't want to do what you're designed to do. And that's where you have the most problems. And it's hard for you to accept that you're a net, right? You like, why I gotta fix this, or why I gotta carry this, or why I'm always the person they call, or why I always gotta figure it out for somebody else, or why I'm always, people are just unpacking on me or dumping everything on me. And the reality is if God created you to be a net, meaning for you to carry things and carry burdens, like, God is not going to put more on you than you can bear. And you might be under a lot of pressure. You might be dealing with a lot of different things because people are constantly unpacking on you. But God is going to give you the strength to where that net won't break. So you won't break. Now, you'll be under pressure, but you won't break. And I think that that's the goodness of God, and understanding you have to embrace what you are. Some people are nets, some people are vacuums, some people are ceiling fans. I mean, it's always going to be something. Either you're a giver or you're a taker. Like, that's just what it is. And if you understand you're dealing with a taker, the ugly truth is a taker don't never get tired of taking, baby. So you dealing with a taker, you let them take what you can give, but just know, like, the more you give, the more they're gonna want. And you have to have a good level of understanding with these types of things, because a lot of times people get depressed because they're like, I'm always there for these people, I'm always showing up, I'm always being like this, I'm reliable, but when I need them, or like, they're not giving me that same energy. And unfortunately, you're asking for something that people don't have to give. And you have to just be okay with knowing God created you a certain kind of way. I'm built for this. Like, I'm really different. And I've had to learn to be okay with being different. People expectations for me is different than the next person. And it will frustrate me. And I would get mad and I would cry. And I would always be like, oh, I'm on a pedestal. Like, I didn't ask to be on a pedestal. But God called me and he chose me. So once I really stepped into my calling and understood the fact that I'm going to always be more solid, more reliable, more logic, more realistic than most people. I can empathize. I have compassion. I'm kind. I'm selfless. I have humility. I have all these things that a lot of people don't have. And this is just the ugly truth that, unfortunately, I am going to be the person that get unpacked on. I am going to be the person that is always figuring it out for the next person. I am going to be the person that's going to be building people and helping people get to where God wants them to be. And that's just the reality. So it's like assignments. So I don't have attachment issues, because I know once God put me into your life and I fulfill that assignment, then I'm on to the next person that needs me. And people think like, well, you helped me get here, or you influenced me, or you encouraged me to do this and that. Like I owe you. And I'm like, you don't owe me anything. And I've accepted the fact that God has called me to be in people's life for just a season. And I will be in their life for a season, and I move around. And I just learned to be okay with it. So it's like, so many things like you will start to realize or understand about yourself the more you accept who you really are. And I'm comfortable with who I am. I'm aware that no matter where I'm at, somebody's gonna sit next to me. We're gonna talk. I'm gonna hear their life story. I'm gonna end up encouraging them, giving them tools and resources, and I'm gonna go on by my business. So it's hardly ever that I get to just really go somewhere and chill and like do nothing and just enjoy, like if I'm a drink or have a hookah or whatever the case may be, like just do that. It's like rare that I get to just do that without nobody saying anything to me or having a conversation. So I'm just like, okay, cool. But yeah, and I'm just learning that people are okay until they're not okay. And people love you as long as you're doing whatever they want you to do. And as soon as you say no, then hell breaks loose. And somebody have to be the villain. And I'm learning, and this is another ugly truth, that when something happens, someone is going to be the villain. Somebody got to be the villain in the story. So I'm always like, cool, I'll be the villain. I'll take the role. Like at this point, it is what it is. I'm not explaining anything. I don't feel like I need to prove anything. However you take it or whatever you feel, go ahead. And I was talking to a friend of mine, and we were talking, and she was telling me about certain things and some decisions that she wanted to make. And I just told her, like, once you make those decisions, you have to be okay with whatever comes with it. Meaning, people are gonna have an opinion about something or a situation. They have no idea about the backstory of it, right? Like people see a couple and they like, oh, they cute and they this and they that, and then when that couple breaks up, they're like, what happened? Like, oh, you thought but you didn't know. And I think a lot of times, like, people are always assuming based off of a few moments they may see with the couple that, oh, they perfect or they this and they that. In all actuality, they're hanging on by a thread, or it's something like that's causing some riffraff within their relationship, and people are just trying to keep it together so that people will stay out their business. And that is like one of those things where your happiness matters. Like, your happiness matters. I would tell anybody, if you are not happy or you are not being treated in a way that you would like to be treated, go where you are celebrated, not where you're tolerated. I don't know who needs to hear that. Go where you celebrated, not where you tolerated. And y'all, I forgot I had this little makeup on. But yeah, so I've had a very, 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 very long emotional week. I am just grateful that God is using me in the ways that He is. I want you guys to know that no matter what people say, no matter what people do, you have to stay true to who you are. You have to remember it's always three sides to a story: yours, theirs, and the truth. And you have to just stand on the truth, and everything don't need a response. And I'm learning that. I had a situation where somebody was speaking on me, and they were being malicious and trying to tarnish my character and spreading false narratives about a situation. And I'm just at a place where it doesn't matter what a person say. It doesn't matter who they say it to. It doesn't matter how they feel. At the end of the day, I know who I am. I know what I'm about, and I know what I stand on. And I'm the type of person, I'm built for any kind of pressure. Like, any kind of pressure. And all the things that I have, the way I am, the relationships that I've established, the friendships I've established, is all God given. So it's like a person is mad because God made me the way I am. I can't help it that I am who I am. And if you don't like it or you have a problem, take it up with God. And I just think that I'm the type of person, like, most people be like, girl, you real saved, or couldn't be me, or I would have done this and I would have done that. And I'm like, at the end of the day, it's not even worth my energy. Some things are just not worth my energy, my time, because I've grown a lot, and it just really shows how miserable a person can be, and it shows you how unhappy they are with themselves, because the only thing they can do is spread false narratives about a person and be malicious and try to tarnish somebody's character because they're mad and they're upset. Like, ooh, wow, okay. And I think it's like two different types of people. You have one person that cares about what other people think and how other people feel about them, and then you have a person like me that I don't care about how anybody feel about me. I don't care about what people think about me, because at the end of the day, I'm not doing anything for people. I do everything I do for the glory of God. Like, and once me and God talk about it, then that's all I need. Like, that's the thumbs up. That's like what I was saying. There's two types of people: a person that cares about everything, everybody, what people think, what people got to say. Then you have a person like me that don't care about none of it. Like, I don't care. Like, and I think that that's the difference, because I'm living in my truth. I'm very secure in who I am, and everybody's not gonna agree with how I am or what I do, and that's fine. But the reality is everybody got something. Hold on. Everybody got something going on in their life, and I think that it shows you how like immature a person can be in their childlike mindset. And I'm the type of person, I just pray for people like that. It's not the first time somebody prayed on my downfall, won't be the second time, won't be the third time, won't be the fourth time. And if you guys sit up and allow those type of things to worry you or to have any kind of effect on you, like, you have to learn to redirect the energy. Y'all, I just had like a blank moment. And I am just so grateful that I am the person that I am, and I don't fight fire with fire, and I don't get worked up about anything. Because at the end of the day, I know who I am, and I know that, like, God did his big one with me. Like, he really did. And yeah, so this is just the ugly truth, that people are gonna be malicious and spiteful, because they can't understand why God is blessing you and why God is choosing you, because they don't think that you're qualified, or they don't feel like you deserve to be in the position that you're in. Thank God that don't matter. 2, people love you as long as it's beneficial for them. As soon as they can't use and abuse you, they don't want to deal with you. 3, I don't know what 3 will be, you guys. Like, when I tell y'all, like, this episode is coming out late because I couldn't pull myself together earlier to get in front of the camera to speak, because I just didn't know what to talk about. I didn't know how I wanted to talk about whatever. Like, I was an emotional mess, and I didn't want to spend the episode crying, and I didn't want to get on here with my energy being off. And it's just, today was just a really, really sad day for me, y'all. Like, a really, really sad day for me. Aww. And I went out and I got something to eat, and I got dressed and I got cute, and normally that would make me feel better, but it didn't. And so that bothered me, because I'm like, oh, I just cannot get myself out of this funk. And I started laundry. I was supposed to be doing laundry all day. Finally started laundry. And I am just like, Lord, this is good, like, me having this podcast, because it forces me to still get out here, still speak, try to help somebody, even though, like, I'm bleeding. Like, you have to learn to lead and bleed at the same time. And it's very hard, but I'm learning, and I'm grateful, and I never want to misuse my platform or my opportunity to speak. But I know that there's people dealing with real life stuff, whether it's like me just encouraging you guys, or me giving you different points, or like today, like the last 2 episodes, I just been like just talking, because I'm like, I gotta get this stuff out. Like, I have to talk about certain things, because I'm like, let me just put it on the floor. Y'all, it's something right there. I don't know what that is, but yeah, I'm like, let me just put it on the floor. I am so grateful. I thank God every day for the change that he's been able to do in my life. And I am at a place where I'm learning that you have to love people even when they are not nice to you. You have to still love and be kind to people, even though they are being a certain kind of way or trying to treat you a certain kind of way. You, as a woman of God, I still have to carry myself a certain kind of way, regardless of how the situation may make me feel, or may make me look, you know. And I know what God has called me to do, and I know how He called me to do it. And people will either be a lesson or a blessing, and I'm learning I'm okay either way. So yeah, so guys, this is the last Friday. This is the last episode of 2024. And I am just so proud of myself. I am so proud of myself. I'm so grateful. And you know, it just really makes me feel good, and like makes me want to keep going. Like when people are messaging me and people are texting me, and like my granddaddy was like, I am proud of you. Like, I love your podcast. Like, I love what you're doing. And that's the type of stuff that like really warms me up and like keeps me going, because sometimes it is hard to sit down and talk and do my episodes, because of course life be life, and I'm no different than anybody else. God has just called me to speak, but this is the ugly truth. You're gonna have your good days, you're gonna have your bad days, but at the end of the day, you have to praise your way through it. And today was one of those days where I praised my way through it. I just took the time out to just talk to God about everything. I didn't have to pick up the phone and call nobody. I didn't have to have people in my business about the things that I have going on or anything like that. I'm learning that whatever issues or problems is nothing too big or small for God, and things are only as big as you make it, right? So when I'm all over the place like that, I just have a conversation with God, and then I be done with it, and it's like next. So I just want you guys to know, like, the pain is temporary, and you just gotta know joy comes in the morning. It can't rain forever. It can't rain forever. And when the sun do come out, you guys will enjoy it a lot more, because you have been through things. And I just look back on everything, and I'm just like, if you would have told me at 34, I would have been through all the things that I've been through. I would have had to overcome a lot of things. I would have laughed at you. But here I am, 34 years old, still finding myself, still learning, and just filled with gratitude. And I'm just so grateful. And I just thank God every day that He made me who I am. For a long time, I didn't like myself. I didn't like who I was. I wanted to be somebody else. I wanted to be something different. And now I sit here before you guys, like, I thank God you made me who I am. I thank God that you had me go through the situations that you had me go through, because I meet so many people that have not experienced half of what I've experienced. So my wisdom and my knowledge is way beyond people my age or even older. And it's one of those things. I couldn't be in this position had I not been born to the people I was born to, my parents, or being in the family that I was in, or having a kid at a young age, and being married, and all of that, going to the Army. Like, I've done a lot of stuff, y'all. I'm the type of person, I'll try anything once, and I've done so much. I have so many, like, experience is the best teacher, and that's what people don't understand. I've experienced a lot, and my level of understanding is way different than a normal person, I would say, because people are always looking at me like, girl, you different. you're real different. And this is even before I really just got saved and started like really living my life for God. But you know, Jesus is the reason for the season, and as long as I got breath in my body, I am gonna continue to grow. I'm gonna continue to learn. I'm gonna continue to fall down and get back up. But at the end of the day, nobody can take anything that God has given me. And people gotta understand that everything happens for a reason, whether it's hurtful to you or whether it's a lesson, or you cross paths with the person for a reason. Divine intervention. So you met that person for a reason. So either you get the lesson or you miss your blessing. This is episode 9, Ugly Truth. Oh, y'all, we made it. My God. Thank you. Y'all, let me tell y'all. my day, my week, my day is been so all over the place. I almost got on here without my wig on, like literally with my braid down, just thugging, and I was just gonna get on here and let loose, but I was like, let me get my energy together and get on here and make sure I help somebody, that I just let people know that you're not alone. We all are going through something. We all have experienced some kind of pain, some level of pain, or some level of grief. We just have to hang in here and, hold on to God's unchanging hand and understand that He will not leave us nor forsaken us. And there's something that you can hold on to when you need comfort and you're going through whatever you're going through in life. Of course, y'all, I've been under the weather again. Like when I breathe in and out, like my chest would hurt. Y'all can tell like my voice is like a little bit raspy. And I'm gonna, like when I get off here, I'm gonna have some hot tea and I am gonna watch me some movies. But yeah, just find your happy place, get in your happy place and stay there. Please do not let anything disturb your peace. If it costs you your peace, it's too expensive. Please remember that. If it costs you your peace, it's too expensive. I don't care. You gonna cry. You gonna be hurting. Let it go. Let them go. Let it be. Sometimes you gotta cut your finger off to save your hand. And I want you guys to understand that it's no need of drinking poison just because you're thirsty. Okay? And I'm guilty. I'm guilty. I almost went back to something that broke me and something I prayed for God to deliver me from. And I got in the season and I almost went back to the very thing that broke me. And that's when I knew, like, I need to definitely be praying and watching, because the enemy is busy. He's real busy. You got to make sure you're watching and praying, because the enemy will come in like a flood, and he will come in to kill, steal, and destroy. He don't play. He wants your mind. He wants your children. He wants your job. He wants your family. He wants your marriage. He wants your career. Like, he don't play fair. Like, y'all better be watching and praying. I'm telling you, because he is busy and he is looking. And if you ain't got your armor of God on and you out here naked trying to fight, baby, you gonna be in bad shape. So that's in Ephesians 6 about the armor of God, if y'all wanna go read that and see. But yeah, this is episode 9. This is the last episode of the year. I'm just so grateful. And I'm just really looking forward to seeing what God is going to do 2025. I don't know, y'all. I'm going to revamp it. This was my first go around, these first 9 episodes. And I wanted to play with it to see, like, how I want to approach it. And I think that I'm definitely going to tweak some things, and I'm going to get some more interactions. I think I'm going to actually get another number so people can call me and talk to me while I'm recording and stuff. And that way when I air it, it will be like engaging more, right? And I want to get guests. I want to start having people like coming on and like just having like a panel for people to come and for us to talk about different topics. And yeah, so 2025 is going to be amazing. Thank y'all for tuning in this far. Thank you guys for the support. Thank you for the love. Thank you for everybody that subscribed to the YouTube channel. Thank you for everybody that watch it on Spotify, Amazon, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio. Thank you guys for taking the time out and just to listen to my story and who I am and what I'm about. And I look forward to really helping you guys. I am gonna be more intentional, making sure my episodes are longer than 20-30 minutes, so that I can make sure you guys are getting what you need. Okay, it's your girl Barbie Sosa, and remember, your blessings are delayed, never denied. And here at Finding Yourself Podcast, we believe in facts over feelings. I'm out.